Samantha Riley had always been known in our town as a woman who got whatever she wanted. She had risen to the position of HOA president almost overnight, using charm, persuasion, and when necessary, intimidation. Her reputation didn't bother her, she wore it like a crown. But what Samantha didn't realize was that her latest ambition would become the biggest mistake of her life. And I was the one waiting at the end of the road, ready to deliver a wake-up call she would never forget. It started the day I received a letter at my cabin, a hand-delivered notice declaring that all undeveloped land adjacent to the Willow Creek Estates community is subject to HOA beautification initiatives. Oh. That land, of course, was mine. 30 acres of prime real estate I had inherited from my grandfather, untouched and peaceful, sitting just beyond the cookie-cutter houses of Willow Creek. I laughed when I first read it. Surely this was some mistake. I wasn't part of their HOA. I hadn't signed a thing. They had no authority over me. But I underestimated Samantha's greed. 2 weeks later, construction crews started showing up. Big machines carved ugly scars into the soil. Survey flags dotted my property like a rash. I stormed over, demanding answers. The workers were polite, but confused. They showed me blueprints stamped by the HOA board and a building permit issued under Willow Creek's name. They had been told this was community expansion. Private homes for approved buyers. At the center of it all, a sprawling mansion 3 times bigger than any house in the neighborhood. Samantha's dream house, it turned out. I called the county office immediately. The clerk, weary and overworked, informed me that the paperwork filed for the land had different ownership listed, a shell corporation that had no real claim. Someone had committed outright fraud to get construction approved. And all the while, my land, the legacy of my family, was being ripped apart. I hired a lawyer the next day. We dug deeper, uncovering a trail of forged signatures and falsified deeds, all linked back to Samantha and a few HOA cronies desperate for profit and power. They thought I was just some quiet country boy who wouldn't fight back. They thought wrong. Instead of marching in with guns blazing, I chose a different route. A patient route. I let them keep building. Let them pour money into that mansion. Let Samantha decorate it with marble floors, gold fixtures, a home theater, and imported Italian furniture. I watched as she hosted glamorous parties for prospective buyers, bragging about her vision and how she had transformed Willow Creek into the premier neighborhood of the county. All the while, I documented everything. Every truck that entered. Every tree that fell. Every invoice, every blueprint, every open house flyer with her name printed on it. I collected the evidence like a fisherman gathering a net full of unsuspecting fish. 6 months later, Samantha held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for her new home. It was televised on the local news. She smiled for the cameras, standing proudly in front of a massive wrought iron gate emblazoned with her initials. Reporters called her a visionary leader. She drank in the praise. And that's when I made my move. The very next morning, my lawyer filed a lawsuit the size of a phone book. We sued for trespassing, fraud, destruction of property, emotional distress, and punitive damages. The county was forced to issue a cease and desist order on all properties connected to Willow Creek expansion, including Samantha's mansion. The sheriff posted giant neon notices on the gates. Property dispute entry forbidden by order of court. Samantha's face turned ghost white when she saw them. She tried to argue. She screamed that I was a liar, that she had bought the land fair and square. But the evidence was overwhelming. Forged signatures. Fake corporations. Bribed officials. She was trapped. And it only got worse. Since the mansion was illegally built, it couldn't be sold. Banks refused to finance mortgages on any of the adjacent properties. Homeowners who had trusted Samantha started filing lawsuits of their own, accusing her of fraud and negligence. Willow Creek's reputation crumbled. Home values plummeted. Nobody wanted to live near a scandal. Meanwhile, I sat back and watched. Patient, steady, just like my grandfather had taught me. At the final court hearing, Samantha tried one last desperate move. She offered to buy the land from me at market price, pleading, promising, even offering triple the value. She thought money would solve everything. It always had for her before. But not this time. I declined her offer. Politely. Firmly. And when the judge ruled in my favor, awarding me full restitution plus damages, Samantha's dream house was officially signed over to me. Everything inside every stick of furniture, every chandelier, every imported tile was now legally mine. But I didn't keep it. I hired a demolition crew the very next day. Piece by piece, I tore down the mansion she had stolen my land to build. Neighbors watched in stunned silence as bulldozers smashed through marble walls and ripped up manicured lawns. What had once been Samantha's shining jewel was reduced to rubble in less than a week. After clearing the land, I restored it to the natural meadow it had been before. Wildflowers bloomed where gaudy fountains once sprayed. Birds returned to nest in the trees that now grew freely without HOA interference. It was beautiful, again simple, honest, untouched. Samantha, stripped of her title and reputation, left town shortly after. Rumor has it she moved to another state, trying to start fresh under a new name. But people have long memories, and scandals have longer legs. Wherever she went, the story of the greedy HOA president who lost everything followed close behind. As for me, I still live on that land. Still walk the meadows at sunrise. Still hear the wind whisper through the grass. And sometimes, when I stand beneath the wide blue sky, I think about how close I came to losing everything, and how sweet it felt to fight back, not with anger, but with patience, truth, and the quiet strength of knowing what was rightfully mine. Because in the end, the real dream isn't a mansion or a fortune. The real dream is standing on your own ground, knowing no one can ever take it away from you. And that's a dream that Samantha Riley, for all her schemes, will never know.